Here's how you can get better at anything. First, it starts with identifying what you don't know yet. So, in order to do that, can you remember a time where we good? Think of a time where you felt frustrated or curious or scared or limited. And was it in an environment that made you maybe even feel a little small, but it's something that you're interested in? That could be a clue that there's something that you don't know yet but want to learn about. I know that that may sound kind of strange because it's like, well, I feel bad. Fair. And this is my observation. That bad feeling sometimes in me comes from me wanting to know more and me wanting to be able to be a part of things or to communicate in a certain way or to have a certain skill that I just don't have yet. And sometimes it can lead to feeling ashamed or embarrassed, but that's not where things have to stay. It's information that allows me to move forward, or at least it allows me the choice of how to move forward. I've been seeing a mindset shift on Instagram a lot lately where it says initially moving out of things being impossible versus possible into familiar versus unfamiliar. So, how can we make things more familiar? By education, observation, experience, and mentorship. For education, you have some options before you. You can turn to the library, which has a wealth of resources. You can turn to publications, sometimes journals and magazines that are specifically dedicated to what you're interested in. You can also turn to YouTube how-tos. I do that all the time myself. You can turn to scholarly journals, peer-reviewed sources as well. There's also higher education. There are webinars, there are certifications, there are many free certifications available online, or there are certifications available for a reduced cost. You can also ask for a scholarship, but just telling them why you're interested in it. Because to back up just a little bit, whenever we get that feeling of like maybe I'm not good enough, no, it's an opportunity to say instead, I really want to do this. And you can ask yourself why. And if you don't quite know yet, maybe you can explore that more with a therapist or with a trusted friend or some resources that help you to better understand your circumstances, whether it's through reading or, all of the resources that we just kind of talked about with education. You can also lean into gaining experience. A way to do that is to dive right in whether you're ready or not. Something that some awesome teachers of my life have said many times, and that I saw Miley Cyrus say as well at a Disney Legends presentation, is feel the fear and do it anyway. I know, it's scary. But something that my teacher said is that it's best to just dive right in. And that's really true because you gain so much experience from just giving it a shot. When it comes to acting, particularly memorizing lines, it's very interesting because you can't just read your way into being able to do it. You've got to get the muscle memory of saying the words. Another way you can learn is through observation. A way you can do this is through attending events, seeing documentaries, watching videos, generally observing others do what it is you're interested in doing. So we have these really cool things called mirror neurons, and mirror neurons help us to observe one thing and be able to replicate it. I have also seen this come up in like somatics work with I had this awesome movement teacher in college. She's amazing. If you ever see this video, you really changed my life. So in somatics, we learned a lot of manipulations to our feet to be able to prepare ourselves for dance or just for daily work exercise. Whenever we manipulated one foot, we would place both feet on the ground and just observe how they were different. And it was easier and faster for our other foot to pick up on the changes that we made so that they were both ready to go. And observation can be a really powerful skill for being able to emulate what it is you want to do. I had a voice teacher once tell me that she was learning to sing opera and she gave herself the freedom to just be like, okay, I'm going to sing how an opera singer sings. And even though she hadn't necessarily been taught all of the technique yet, she had observed it before. And by just doing it and trying it, it actually went really well. And I invite you to try that too with whatever it is you're interested in. It kind of reminds me of the phrase fake it to make it, except sometimes faking it, you're actually really doing it. And then lastly on this point is mentorship. There are 5 characteristics to look for in a strong mentor. They're positive, non-judgmental, a good listener, available, and experienced. And the reason that all 5 of those are important is because you need to be able to communicate with someone who's there for you. Because if you're just being hurt all of the time, that'll make it significantly harder to be able to progress forward. That doesn't mean that they should never give you notes or constructive criticism or sometimes like kind of harsh feedback, because those can be super useful. But if you're turning to someone who's just negative all of the time, or who doesn't listen to you, who brushes you off, who doesn't make themselves available to you, I would really caution making that person a mentor in your life. And the thing is, not everyone that you admire or desire to have as a mentor has to be a mentor in your life. So, availability is a really key factor, because you can't force someone into this role or to have these characteristics. You're only responsible for yourself. And so, if you're able to find a mentor in whatever facet it is that you're interested in, amazing. That'll take you a long, long way. And sometimes over time, your mentors change as well, or they're able to be mentors for different areas of your life. And that's totally fine. I have so many people in my life who have been amazing mentors in areas like theater, but specific areas of theater. Like, this person helped a lot with artistic direction and acting, and this person helped a lot with learning contracts and learning general management and learning diplomacy. And I have other folks in my life who have taught me a lot about actors equity and how to navigate the business side of things. But also, I've had a lot of mentors in my life who have taught me like just how to be a person. And the thing is, I've in turn made myself have many of those qualities as a mentee, of being available, of trying to have a good attitude, of being willing to learn and being willing and able to accept my mistakes. I'm not always able to accept my mistakes, and sometimes there are bigger barriers or burdens that I'm trying to work through in order to get there. But in general, I really do make an effort to feel the fear and do it anyway. And that enables our mentor-mentee relationship to be able to flourish, because I'm taking what they say and I'm doing my best with it. That doesn't mean I'll always agree. And you know what? Some healthy disagreement can be a great grounds for further learning or clarification on one end, or for both folks. It can also be helpful to know what your learning style is. So there are 4 that I'm going to talk to you about today, but there are really like 8. And I'm only familiar with the first 4, so I'm going to link for another resource in the comments explaining all 8 of them in detail if you're interested. So the first 4 are visual, auditory, reading/writing, and kinesthetic or tactile, which just basically means like doing or like touch or experiencing it. So with visual, it's a little straightforward. It deals more with seeing the thing happen. Like, it deals a lot with images and graphs and diagrams. Auditory, it deals with your ears. It's what you listen to. And it can involve listening, speaking, attending lectures, being part of discussions, and that being a way that it helps you really remember what's going on. The next one is reading/writing. And the process of reading things or writing things down can be a way that is very powerful to memorize or to just learn about things. And then lastly is kinesthetic/tactile. It's related to experiencing things, doing things, trying it out yourself. And when it comes to acting, because I just can't help myself, whenever you're, let's say, learning lines, it can also be really helpful to combine two of these, or to combine, let's say, two motor skills, because you're giving yourself multiple ways of connecting with what it is you're trying to learn. So if you're like moving around, like you're doing your blocking and you're saying your lines, you're creating so many more connections in your brain to be able to access that faster. These are all resources to be able to get better at anything, because what you're doing is you're moving from the unfamiliar into the familiar. Nothing is impossible to you. If there are things that seem out of reach because of physical or geographical or any other kind of limitation, the best part is this is adaptive to what meets you where you are. The thing is, you don't have to have all of the answers right away. I don't think any of us will have the right answers right away. But what you're able to do is take that first step and it will carry you forward, providing you with more information, more challenges, more experience, and more opportunities to grow in whatever it is you want to develop in. Something I'd like to leave you with is the phrase, I have all of the resources I need to get started, and I can learn as I go. That's something that I have on a sticky note, like hung up on my wall, because I'm like, yeah, I need to know that. So anyway, I'm rooting for you. I hope that this could be helpful to you. You got this. I'll see you next week. Bye.